An African-American family in Manhattan Beach was the target of an arsonist. Someone put a burning tire at their front door.
My initial reaction from the flames was that someone was trying to injure us and burn our house down.
Police say around 700 people attended the candlelight vigil here earlier tonight at Matlock's Park.
When we saw that we had a community that was behind us and they wanted to be there with us to go through this, it started the healing process for us.
Manhattan Beach is what we call one of the South Bay beach cities, just south of LAX. It's a small community where people really do know each other.
We moved from LA to Manhattan Beach for the schools, actually, and because I'm an attorney, I work nearby.
I'm a pharmacist, pharmacy owner, and we love Manhattan Beach. It's well known that it's predominantly white, small number of African Americans, probably less than 1%. However, we've always been considered, just one of the neighbors.
We moved into the new home about a year ago. We did notice that there was a general chill. When you're an African American, you sort of have to go with whatever vibe you're getting. And if we were being isolated or treated differently, it wasn't unique. It wasn't the first time.
There's been instances of trash being placed in front of our house. There's a record that we reported drug paraphernalia being left in front of our house. But you never extrapolate those type of incidences to fire coming through your front door. My wife was out of town. She was back east. And I was at home with the children, my dog. I would say around 2 a.m., I heard a loud blast. There was a large flame that was bursting through our front door. And so immediately I rushed to get the kids, secure the kids, call 911.
Rescue 2-1 on scene of a two-story single-family home with smoke and small flames.
2:15 a.m. My sister wakes me up and she's like, there's a fire in our house. It's just shocking to me that someone would do that.
My dad said that there is a fire in the house, and I thought that he was joking, but then I got up and I saw a huge orange flame.
Manhattan Command Interior Vision. We have a lot of black smoke up here. Smells like accelerant.
Phone rings. I realized that it was about 2:30 his time, and he says, honey, the house is on fire. So I honestly think I went into shock.
I had 3 little children across the street with no shoes on, cold, and a dog, and they were watching me. They were watching me to see how I reacted to this situation. It was such a traumatic event that Dad is under control. Dad is going to take care of you, and everything is going to be okay. This is the entryway to our house, the house where the fire began. There was a tire that was set right in this area right here with some accelerant. You know what? It was eerily quiet that morning. One of the firemen said, it's very unusual that I don't see any of your neighbors out here. And I really didn't think about it. And then I looked around, I didn't see any lights on. I didn't see any neighbors that were out trying to investigate. Normally that's what people do, right? There was none of that, It was eerily quiet.
I did read in the newspaper that they were considering leaving because they didn't feel welcome, and I was very upset to hear about it. It's still under investigation. We know it was a crime. It's obviously an arson, but when you hear about the race of the Clintons and what happened, you immediately get worried that were they targeted? And when your mind and heart go there, it's a very upsetting feeling.
We don't know the motive, but I think it is very important to acknowledge that there's a possibility that this is a hate crime. You know, our home is very nondescript, middle of the block. There's nothing that stands out about our home in particular. We assume that whoever did this targeted us because of the color of our skin. And I do believe the person that did this is still somewhere lurking around, and that's kind of an eerie feeling.
My office reached out to the local police authorities. The response said, "This is not arson," in all caps. "This is not a hate crime. It is still under investigation." So my immediate reaction was, okay, so this is going to be the storyline. The week of the fire, Chief Irvine of the police department and Fire Chief Espinoza reached out. I think they may have apologized for any misunderstanding. They answered all of our questions. They started out by saying how concerned they were. They sort of corrected the record, and then we agreed that from then on we'd be a united front because we could feel their sincerity.
Earlier today, Manhattan Beach Fire and Police announced a joint investigation into the incident.
It appeared from all indications the fire was intentionally set. The motive in this is still under investigation. Racial motivation and hate crimes are being considered.
If it is determined that this is a hate crime or racially motivated, we will do everything we can to ensure that the person responsible for this is brought to the highest level of prosecution.
It's important that people not feel disenfranchised. When you have the police chief and the fire chief say, "We hear you," it means that we're not alone.
These things still happen. You know, it's not unique just to us. There are other victims out there that are not heard.
I wanted to reach out to the Clintons to let them know that no matter what, we're supporting them. With social media, very quickly, people were talking on the street, and what are we going to do about it?
We were all shocked that something like that would even happen in our town. We don't want anything like that to happen to anybody.
This town is very community-oriented, very family-oriented, you know. It's not like a lot of strangers living here. Everybody knows everybody, and we all pull together.
We were surrounded by angels. Peter Pham set up a reward fund for the capture or information leading to the arrest of the person who did this.
A dear friend, Michelle Moeller, said, "Melissa, I'd like to send this email out encouraging people to attend the vigil on Friday." And that was it. And then we arrived, and it seemed like it was just us when we arrived.
She made a point to say, "Don't be late to your own function." So she got us there early. We were there good and early.
And the next thing you know, the plaza was full of, I don't even know how it happened.
Let our love, like these lights, shine brightly upon you.
We couldn't believe the magnitude of the people that were there and people we had never met. It spread like wildfire.
We all need to feel safe in our home, no matter what color our skin is, what religion we are, what our sexual orientation is. And if you attack any of us, you attack all of us. And that's when you get power. And I think it was the best of what a small town can be.
We are going to find whoever did this.
I believe it.
There was a hug line, you know. Everybody wanted a hug.
It was just a perfect example of how love can heal. You know, it was just a perfect example of how love can heal.
And then we arrived, and it seemed like it was just us when we arrived. We were all shocked that something like that would even happen in our town.
It was just a perfect example of how love can heal.
I have no fear because we have you.
Manhattan Beach stands together.
I think there was this sort of collective consciousness moment where everybody said, it happens in our town. And I think their reaction was not in our town. Roy, say hello. He's the shy one. Or he pretends to be. Many more people know us today than knew us before. We've got this great relationship with the authorities that we didn't have before, which for me as a African American mother, I worry about my boys.
We're monitoring them, daily, regularly, just to try to see if we pick up on anything, considering what they've seen, what they've gone through. I'm very proud of how they have adjusted to this.
So many of their teachers have reached out. For our daughter in the middle school, her English teacher had all of her classes participate in a letter writing campaign to the local newspaper, the Beach Reporter. And so they got hundreds of letters just to say, what it meant to them and what emotions they had. And the same for our young son. We've got 3 kids at 3 different schools. So they all felt the love, every one of them.
I feel that we sent a message to somebody who might think about doing this, that this is not who Manhattan Beach is.
If you're reaching beyond this incident and saying this is not something that should happen here, then challenge yourself. And when the next Black family moves in, welcome them. I hope that the entire community join us in welcoming other people of color, because to me, that's how you really show the person who did this that that's not what we stand for.